Try a little Donna Lee. See if I can make it through it here. Let's try it again. Okay. That's about as much damage as I can do to that tune today. I've shown in the past how to play through the chord changes to Donna Lee and how to play through some of the shapes that you can use to improvise. I might do a little bit more of that today. But I just wanted to show you how to play the melody. I'm doing this in G for access, easy access to banjo players, where normally it's in A flat, a half step up. So if you want to move everything up a half step, you're welcome to do that. And I've played it in A flat before too. I'm just not prepared to do that today. Anyway, the melody is kind of weird, but it's fun. And for a quote unquote melody, it really sounds like improv over the chord changes to back home in Indiana. Let me just show you how to play it. Yeah, I'll just show you how I do it anyway. Oh, by the way, before I forget, I'm sure I've put a tab on my Banjo Hangout space in the photos section. There's probably a JPEG there somewhere that says Donna Lee. That was done quite a while ago, and I know I'm playing it differently now, but it might give you, a place to start and to at least see some of the shapes. I'm sure some of the things I'm doing are the same. One thing that I should mention that it's totally different is in this version I'm doing today, I'm starting an octave down from where it actually starts. In the old days, I would play it correctly, right? Way up there, but I'm starting it down here. Etc. So I'm actually transposing the first bit of the line down an octave, and then it beautifully tails right into the melody where it belongs anyway. One last thing, then I'll quit gabbing. I learned this originally as a bass player off of the Jaco Pastorius' first record in I think I learned it in about 1980, somewhere around there. His record was put out several years before that. But I learned it with no chords in my head. I didn't know it was a Charlie Parker tune. I didn't know it was, over the changes to back home in Indiana. So all I had was this crazy melody, and I didn't even know what beat it started on. So I just learned it on the bass, played it, and then kind of eventually later on learned more about the tune and how it was actually played, at least from a bebop perspective. Okay, so here it is. The tune actually starts not on the downbeat of the first bar. The first couple of chord changes go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's kind of the way, the feeling of the chord changes in the song. But the melody starts, if I were to count, I say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So you hear 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's explore. I just want to know that you understand where you're playing the melody and where it starts, and hopefully I'll show you the chords and maybe some improv things in this video a little later on. But here's the melody. I'm playing it with a combination of roll patterns and thumb index, thumb middle, and thumb index, single string shapes, single string techniques. So I started off like this. I mean, it's a very single string version of it. So it's just 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's all in. It starts off with a G. And so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so I showed you the first chunk. Notice those two notes. So that's the first part of the phrase. Right? And then that's a slide up to the 8th fret on the G string. You see, this is an A minor. 12th fret, little G arpeggio there. That's a C. The rest of a C and a B flat. Okay, so that's the second part of the phrase. Here's the first part. Now the second part. I'll go over that again. That's where we left off. The space around a G chord there. Now, so that's land on a G. Now, a little line. Just as a little note here, when I see in the melody in music, when I see on the notation, for instance, this is in A flat in the real book, and I notice a major third or a minor third or some interval that I'm familiar with, and I know where that interval is on the banjo. A lot of times I'll just play the simplest way to play that. And here we've got major third, F A, C E, major third, B D sharp. So those things just drop right into place. Let me take it from here. Once again, first part. You land on a D. And that's just these notes. And then again. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. We've gone over this enough times, so I'm going to start here. Okay, so we're almost halfway through this thing. So again, D, and that's just dropping down to that B way down there. That's a B minor. Now, and then chromatically down. Okay? Again, let me just run over that whole section. And again, this is... Okay? The next line is, and that's pretty much the halfway point of the tune. Classic bebop lick. Okay, now we're back at the top, or not the top, but halfway through the tune, starting the melody all over again. Let me play it for you up to that point. Ready? One, a little slower. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 1. So now we're there. At that point, so and so the melody picks right up again on the same beats, but you know, later on in the tune. Same for that. Those first notes are exactly the same as the first notes in the beginning of the song. One, and exactly the same. Now we're going to go. So, and those notes are. Oh, 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Okay? Again, that's starting with the second half of the tune. What happens at that point is we're landing on an E minor into a B7 flat 9, and when we go back to the E minor, that's the end of the tune. All right, so let's go from the E minor. Halfway through the tune, that's a B minor lick. Yeah. So dum da ba da ba da ba da ba dum ba yum ba yum bum. And then the turnarounds to the end. Okay, so halfway through the tune. Okay, so that's the end of the tune. But what we're doing there is we're going. That's an F sharp and a B, and then we're doing these neat little chromatic run. And then this is diminished. It's really a it's really built over a G, or what I'm thinking of as an E diminished. Again. Way up here. Anyway, that's it. That's the melody of Donna Lee. Chords, quickly, for those of you who hadn't heard it. G, E7, A7, A minor 7, D7, tritone sub, D minor, again tritone sub to C major 7, F major 7, G major 7, E7, A7, A minor 7, D7, tritone sub, G7, E minor, E7, A7, B7, B7 flat 9, E minor, E minor, E diminished, and then turnaround. G, E7, A7, D7, and again you can tritone sub every one of those. You can go. And you're just approaching each chord you're headed towards by a half step dominant chord above that. Tonalities come from in bebop soloing. Okay, I've already done a video on how to play over the changes. I goofed it up, but sorry. Anyway, I hope this is a little bit. I hope it encourages you to want to dig into this tune and really maybe use some of the other videos I've done on this tune to learn it and make it part of your bebop repertoire.